The product rule is, again, really important, just something that you need to memorize. So pretty much it says if we have two things that are multiplied by each other, to take the derivative of it, you need the derivative of the first thing times the second thing plus the first thing times the derivative of the second thing, right? So that sounds weird when I say it out loud, but it's pretty much one of them is the same, the other is the derivative, plus the other one being the same and the other derivative. Okay, so let's look at some of the examples. That's the best way to do it. So the trick is to know what parts you want to split up, right? So we know how to take the derivative of 8x. We know how to take the derivative of sine of x. So now we're going to multiply them together. So we have f equals 8x. And we know that f prime equals 8, the derivative of that. We have g equals sine x. And g prime equals derivative of sine is cosine x. And then we just need to take the product rule. So there's two ways you could do it. You could sort of just like copy the original notes and just plug it in. So we have 8 times sine of x plus 8x times cosine x. You could sort of like do like a cross multiplying type deal. And just make sure you're adding them, not like normal, but you just want to make sure that you get the right answer. All right, let's do the second one. So we have f equals 2 times e to the x. And g, we're going to make it that root x. So we know that f prime is just the same thing. And then g prime is going to be, this is the same thing as x to the half, right? X to the 1/2. So we're going to bring that down. 1/2 x to the negative 1/2, so 1 over 2 root x. So you want to be able to do this like pretty fluidly. Obviously it's fine if you need to take these steps in between, but you should be able to go from that to that like quite quickly. And then we're just going to take we're going to multiply them. So we have 2e to the x over 2 root x plus 2e to the x root x. And there's our derivative. All right, any questions? Okay, so for this one, we're going to make this guy our f and this our g, right? Some of these are pretty obvious. So we have f equals 1 over x plus 1. F prime equals, so it's a negative 1 over x squared. Again, it's not, if you could do that in your head, you're in a good spot. If not, it probably means you haven't been practicing enough. So we have negative 1 x to the negative 2, right? And then g, we have 2x squared minus 5, and this one's just a nice power rule, 4x. So we need to multiply them. So we have 4x over x plus 4x plus 2x squared over x squared, but this is a minus, plus 5 over x squared. So I'm sort of skipping some steps, right? 4x times, like I'll do this over here. 4x times 1 over x plus 1, you have to distribute. So you have 4x over x plus 4x. This simplifies to just 4. So this is 4 plus 4x. This simplifies to minus 2 plus 5 over x squared. So our final answer is 5 over x squared plus 4x. Combine these like terms, plus 2. So it's a lot of our algebra, right? Like, you got to be really good at algebra. Okay, so this one looks trickier because it's tables, but it's actually less math. It's more just plugging and chugging. Okay, so we have h of x equals 3 times f of x times g of x. We need to find the derivative at 2. So we have our f and our g. So to find our derivative, we know that the constant there is just the same. That's the product rule. So we have f prime g plus f g prime. And this 3 is actually in front of the whole thing, so make sure there's a parentheses there. So this is 3 times f prime of 2 times g of 2 plus f of 2 g prime of 2. Right, because we're just looking for specifically at 2. And now we just have to plug it in. So remember, this is our x. Okay, so this is our x, and this is our f of x. So f prime of 2 would be negative 2. So we have 3, negative 2. G of 2 would be negative 1. Plus f of 2 would be 4. G prime of 2 would be 2. So 3, 2 plus 8. So 3 times 10 equals 30. So this chart is definitely hard to read. I guess the trick is like this one was for the first problem, right? This is for number 4. And this one's for number 5. So this one you actually didn't have to like take the derivative, you just had to know what to do with the derivative. Okay, and so for 5, okay, 5 looks trickier. We're still going to use our table. So we have f equals f of x over 2 plus 2. F prime equals, remember this is the same thing as 1/2, so it's going to be 1/2 f prime of x, and then the 2, that turns into a 0. And then we have our g, 3 minus g of x. Our g prime is going to be negative g prime of x. Because that turns into 0, the negative is still there, and that's the derivative. So the whole thing we need is f of negative 5 over 2 plus 2 times negative g prime of 5 plus 1/2 f prime of negative 5 times 3 minus g of 5. So it looks super gross, but you just gotta power through it. So f of negative 5 is 3, so 3 over 2 plus 2. G prime of 5 is 5, so that's a negative in front of it. F prime of negative 5 is 4. 3 minus g prime of 5 is negative 2. So then we simplify. So 1.5, 3.5, negative 5, plus 2, 5. And then, what is this? I'm just going to use my calculator. Negative 7.5. So negative 15 over 2. Okay, so definitely seems complicated, but as long as you know the product rule, you should be able to do these types of problems.